Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the inequality. So x minus 10 is less than or equal to 2 on x minus 1, where x is an element of the real numbers. All that this means is that x is a real number, meaning it can be a whole number, a fraction, a decimal, pi, a square root, a positive, negative, any type of number any type of number. Okay, so just to start, so it says solve, so you know you're going to be given x as an answer. So let's get this. So we'll start it. So we're going to have x minus 10 is less than or equal to, we can't do anything on that side, so but we can multiply the 2 in on this side, so 2x minus 2. Just like a normal algebra, you get your x's to one side, so x minus 2x, it became a minus 2x because across the inequality, which we treat like the equals, is less than or equal to minus 2 plus 10. So that'd be minus x is less than or equal to 8. We can never have a negative inequality like that, a negative x. We never do in normal algebra, so we're not going to do it now, okay? We'll always change it. But in this case, if you change the sign of the x, it changes the sign of the 8, which it always does, but it will also change the sign of the inequality. So x minus x becomes x, less than or equal to becomes greater than or equal to, and 8 becomes minus 8. So your answer actually turns out to be x is greater than or equal to minus 8. So if you draw this on the number line, so your number line can go like so, greater than or equal to minus 8, so we know it's going to be numbers like minus 8, minus 7, minus 6. So we start at minus 9, and just put in a few. Okay, so minus 8, so we know our circle's going to go on here. We were told it's a real number, so we know real is thick lines. You need to learn this. So what is natural and integers, what are they drawn like versus what are real numbers drawn like? It's all that information's in your book. So greater than or equal to minus 8, so we know it's going to continue up. So we'll do our thick line just all that way up. The fact that it's equal to minus 8, we colour in this circle. If it was greater than minus 8, we just go right beside it and leave the circle open. But the fact that it includes minus 8, you're going to include the circle, the minus 8. The reason it's a thick line is because, in fact, like if we pick this number here, that might be minus 7.6, which is a real number, so you have to include all them numbers. Okay, so that's your inequality. Your second one is your simultaneous equation. Right. So with your simultaneous equation, we always want x, y equals number, that format. So this needs to be format first and foremost. So x minus y equals a half, so the y came across the equals, and then 2x minus 3y equals minus 2. That came across the equals. So in simultaneous equations, you want to get either your x's or your y's to be the same number but different signs. So we work on the same number first. So we multiply the top line by 2 and we get the x's to be the same number. I don't just multiply the x, I multiply everything in that top line by 2. So it becomes 2x minus 2y equals a half by 2 is 1. The bottom line didn't change because I didn't have to. Right. I'll change the sign of the top line because it doesn't have to be, I could pick either of them, of the whole top line, but this way minus 2x and 2x, that's how we can cancel them because that will give us 0x. So plus 2y minus 3y, so that gives us minus y equals minus 3, and y therefore equals 3. If we find x, we must find y. If we find y, we must find x. So we're going to sub this into one of the initial equations. So we're going to pick x minus y equals a half. Instead of y, I'm going to put in 3. I want to find x, so I get it on its own. So a half plus 3. X is equal to 3.5 or 7 over 2. That's your simultaneous equation. Right, so third question is probably the easiest out of the four of them. So it was just solve. So solve, you do your brackets, get your x on one side and find out what x is equal to. So we multiply the 2, just remember the 2 goes by the 4 and by the minus 3 because it's multiplying by everything in that bracket. So we'll have 8 minus 6x plus 12 equals 7x minus 10x plus 35. Get our x's to one side, so minus 6x minus 7x plus 10x equals 35 minus 8 minus 12. Signs are changing because they're crossing the equals, remember that rule. So minus 13 plus 10 would be minus 3x, it's equal to 35 minus 8 minus 12, it'd be 15. 3x is equal to minus 15. As I said, we don't want our x to be minus. 3 and the x are multiplying by each other, so if we want to find x, we have to move across the 3. We said it's multiplying. If it crosses over, it means it's dividing. So x is equal to minus 5. And finally, our last question. Place each of the correct numbers, or the numbers in the correct set. So this one should be easy enough. Okay, so your natural numbers go in here. Integers go within this section. Rational numbers, meaning they're fractions, remember that. Real numbers go outside here, in there. And then your irrational numbers, so numbers that can't be written as a fraction, go in here. So what number can't be written as a fraction? We start that when we know pi can't be. It's 3.14 and it goes on and on and on. If you SD it in your calculator, it won't give you a fraction. A natural number out of them, natural numbers are whole positive, so 5. Integers can be whole positive or negative, so 5 is an integer, so minus 5 is another integer. A rational number, I need my calculator to check. Okay, yeah, well that's no, so it doesn't matter. So a rational number, rational can be a fraction 3/5. Real number can be 0.127. I'm assuming that doesn't make fraction. I don't have a calculator with me. That could be in there. And